Okay, so bring your arm up here like you're saying hi. Don't do the Busao out there. So if you know karate rising block or high block, that's our Busao. Just open the hand up. It's bent, just like a karate high upper gate block. It's not locked out, because if you lock it out, you can get hit here. You want to have it up here. And when you raise up your leg, you push forward and then circle. It's not just raise up hanging there, because someone can kick you and knock you off balance. So as I do this, push forward, land here, strike. So remember to do this and then come back to this position so you're protected. Then pivoting on this point, circle around, do the neck jerk, check, and palm strike. So I'm going to show you a couple of things before I go back. My battery is about to run low because I just did a private lesson, but I wanted to give you guys something here. Okay, so from here on the jong, notice how I'm stepping forward. On the wooden dummy, you can't do that because it's stationary. So you have to stay there. But the combat application would be, I go here as he moves. Now the form shows this and the kick. You don't do that for real. You either do, after the strike, you do this, or you do a double lap sao and a kick. So straight forward, circle around, strike, double lop kick, gan, bong. Now the form would show you to do this. So let me show you that on this side. After the gan, bong, and turn that way. My opponent's here. The real application, well, one of the applications would be here. I step forward. Then he steps forward to punch at me. I step back, check, arm break. Now you don't have to do this and do that leg raise, but I want you to be cognizant of that because someone can kick you and you have your center line open. Okay? So let's do it from this angle. Okay, so from here, circle around, check, double lop, kick, gan, bong sao, tam da, step back, arm break, and back into the form. So another thing that you should remember is after you do the neck jerk, this can be dangerous because you only have this much surface area, and if your opponent's arm is sweaty, his arm can slip off. See, it can slip off. So you can modify that by going here and lop. Instead of doing that, you can single lop or double lop. The gan, bong, step forward, then step back. Now notice in regular Silam Tao, your fook sao's in the center line, but you can do a fook in the central line as well. So if you look at here, I'm facing away, so this is all happening in my central line, not center line. So if I'm facing away this way, see, this is in my central line. Step back and arm break. Okay? So there's some things you can't do on the jong. So there's another little issue, a couple of workarounds. When you enter, I'll do it from the practitioner's perspective, left arm and right arm on the jong. Really, it would be right arm, left arm, because when you start the jong, you're doing it against the southpaw. It's a guy fighting, leading with his right hand, and you're parallel leg, okay? So when I enter, I touch that left arm from my perspective. I circle around, I touch the left arm, but go to the right arm. So some people may think that arm is still there, but if you use imagery, the arm's not there anymore. You've moved it over. With the spring arms, I can do that automatically, just move the arm over. So when you do this bong and tan on the dummy, you don't have much room, so it's usually too close. So you need to have like a 135-degree angle. So I bong on the right arm of the jong, tan on the left arm. Now that arm's still going to be there. Just got to be careful you don't run into it. But that's the better position than trying to do this. Okay, so from here, then he steps in to throw a punch. You do a full step back. Now on the jung, if you did a full step back, you wouldn't touch the arms. So in the jung, you just stay here and you stay in front of it because the jung isn't moving. On that entry, here, drop your hand to somewhat like an upward futsal. Now I don't know the name for this, or if there is a name for it, but you know futsal is generally level to the floor. So I'm just going to call it a high futsal for now until I find out a proper name. So after you do this entry here, you drop your forearm a little bit, then circle around to do the neck jerk. If you just do this, you're open for someone faking and coming to do a takedown. So when you do this here, drop it, circle around, check. Now you notice I'm moving forward. You can't do that on the jung. Once you do this, you drop your elbow, circle around, check and strike. Because the guy could punch and try to take you down. So if he does that, your forearm being here could stop his collarbone because his collarbone is lateral. So if you do this, before you do the neck jerk, you do this in case he comes down, then you circle around and then do the neck jerk. So it's almost like a high fook. I don't know what it's called because a futsal should actually be level to the floor. So let's just call it a high fook. So for lack of a better term. So bu, high fook, circle around and strike. Okay? That way you protect yourself in case the guy tries to do a shot, like a jiu-jitsu or judo shot. Or wrestling shot, my bad. Because wrestlers will do this and come in. So you can stop him if he tries to come in with your forearm here. If this is open, he can slide right in. So we got here, stepping forward, stomp, boom. On the wooden dummy, you would turn here. But in reality, the guy's there, he punches, you follow it in. Then he throws another punch, you step back to get room, bring your knee up to check to cover your groin, and then arm break. So it's going to be from here, that high fook, what I'm going to call it, check, step, stomp. As he moves back, you follow, then step back, arm break, and then back. So on the jung, after you do this, you just do this. You don't step back because the jung is stationary. It's not moving away or towards you. Make sure that when you do this entry, you drop this hand to almost like a futsal position, then circle around from there, do the neck jerk and check, okay? So from here, circle around, check. And you're not just raising your knee up, you're pushing forward and then circle. So you raise the knee up, push forward, and then circle. Once you do the Busao, drop your elbow to do the neck jerk, then check. So without using my feet, here, don't leave this out because you're open here. So you do the Bu, drop your elbow to protect that line, then circle around, and then do the neck snap. Okay? So it's going to be here, drop your elbow, see? Then slide down, stomp. Gun, boom, step forward, then step back, and arm break. Okay? Remember on the entry technique, you don't want to have your arm extended. You want to Bu and not leave it out straight because you're open. You want to drop the elbow so your forearm is covering that line. Again. Busao, drop the elbow, pivot on that point. That you don't want to do. That's what you want to do. So it's like a higher level futsal. Don't do that. That's what you want to do.